Okay, moving on with this whole discussion about divide and conquer. So, basically the covert guiding of various social movements has proven to be one of the most effective means of programming factions and steering them against each other. Fundamentalist religious movements have been particularly useful. They have been used not only within the US, but also to maximize divisiveness in the Middle East, and for other purposes throughout the empire. The collective energy and dedication of true believers makes them a potent political weapon that movement leaders can readily aim where needed. In the US, that weapon has been used to promote censorship on the internet, to attack the women's movement, to support repressive legislation, and generally to bolster the ranks of what is now called in the matrix, the right wing. In the matrix, the various factions believe that their competition with each other is the process that determines society's political agenda. Politicians want votes, of course, and hence the biggest and best organized faction should have the most influence, and their agenda should get the most political attention. In reality, there's only one significant political agenda these days: the maximization of capital growth through the dismantling of society, the continued implementation of neoliberalism, and the management of empire. You know, Clinton's liberal rhetoric and his playing around with healthcare and gay rights are not the result of liberal pressure. They are rather the means by which Clinton is sold, or was sold, to liberal voters so that he can proceed with the real business, exactly as Obama is doing. For instance, getting NAFTA through Congress, promoting the WTO, giving away the public airways, justifying military interventions, and so forth. Same goes for Obama. A very useful person to dismantle any kind of progressive thought whatsoever. Because now whistleblowers are being prosecuted at the rate of, it's unprecedented, really. If you really think about it, not even Bush had the galls to do this. But of course, you know, each builds on the other. So, yeah, that's the matrix. You know, Seattle, a long time ago, 10 years ago, you know, which is when this article was written, by the way, only represented the tip of the iceberg. A mass movement against globalization and elite rule was beginning to just ignite back then. Now, the establishment had been expecting such a movement and, you know, has a variety of defenses at its command. One is police repression, police state tactics. Another one is to basically fill the airwaves with propaganda 24/7. But once you start realizing that we're all being lied to by all the establishment figures around us, we can actually build some consensus. That doesn't mean, we have to be buddy-buddy, we have to love each other like flower children or some crazy stuff like this. But it does mean that we could actually have a civil society without, too much hate and revenge and torture and all this crazy nonsense. Marx may have failed as a visionary, as a social visionary, but he had capitalism figured out. It's based not on productivity or social benefit, but on the pursuit of capital growth through exploiting everything in its path. The job of the elite planners is to create new spaces for capital to grow in. Competitive imperialism provided the growth for centuries, and collective imperialism has been invented in the form of globalism, WTO, IMF, whatever you want to call it, because they just can't get enough. The capital pool must always grow, no matter what. More and more, forever, forever, and forever. Until the host dies. Or something else comes along. People must get it through their heads that this is not the perfect system. Thanks for listening. And all credit, as I say, goes to the author, Richard Moore. Not connected with Michael Moore whatsoever.